Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's video. So it is the 9th of November and it is the Monday after my birthday, so I thought I would do a birthday book haul. I've seen lots of people do like Christmas book hauls and like unboxing and book shopping book hauls, so I thought I'd do one for my birthday because I did get a lot of books. So I'm going to start off with just a couple things that aren't books, but that I can use, that have to do with books, that I can use while I'm reading. So the first thing is this massive Yankee candle. I think my sisters picked the candle out, and this was from my family, my mum, my dad and my sisters. It is in French, so I'm not sure what flavour it is, but I can tell you with absolute certainty it smells delicious. I think it's like a flower because it's got like flowers on it. I do already have a candle on the go at the moment. It's just like one that my mum got for me in London, and I thought I'll finish this one before I start my birthday candle. So the next thing I have on this list I'm actually wearing right now, and it is this lovely blue like knit cardigan. It goes just about past my knees and it is very, very, very snuggly. I absolutely love it. I did pick out the style and colour I wanted, so I did know what it looked like, but it was definitely worth it. I really love this cardigan and it's one of my favourite things to wear while I'm reading at the moment. So if you're like me, your birthday arrives and you have a long list of books that you really, really want, and then your parents say pick 4 books and we'll buy 1 or 2. Because of course you've asked for other things. And I remember sitting down in bed like, I have to pick 4 books out of this list of 22 or however many there were. And in the end I decided, you know what, I'm gonna let my parents pick the book they get me. And I told them and they were like, are you sure? And I was like, yes, I'm sure. And then the night before my birthday I lay in bed and I was like, have I made a horrible mistake? Should I have just picked a book? And then on my birthday, I got my book from my mum and dad, and that is The Queen's Thief by Megan Turner. I remember opening this book and my dad saying that everywhere he looked, he'd found only good reviews. It is the first in a 6-book series, and the 6th book only just came out at the end of October. So he thought, it's part of a series and all the books are out, she'll love it. And I read the blurb and honestly I'm so excited to start this book. It has a male main character, and not a lot of books that I read have male main characters. Quite a few of them, or most of them I think, have female main characters. And then like the main side character is a guy. But I'm very excited to start this book. I'm waiting until I finish The Court of Miracles to start The Thief, because I already have 2 books going, Fangirl and The Court of Miracles, and I don't really want to have to add a 3rd book to it. I want to be able to focus on the 2. But yeah, I'm very excited to start this book. It looks really good. I'm very, very excited. So the next book I have on this list is The Court of Miracles by Kester Grant. Again, Avalon told me about this. I wouldn't know about this book if it wasn't for Avalon, so thank you, Avalon. This is a Les Mis retelling, and I love Les Mis. It is my all-time favourite musical. But Avalon recommended this to me on Goodreads. She just sent me the recommendation with a little message saying, this is a Les Mis retelling, I thought you might like it. And I was like, yes. I went to Waterstones with Abby the Wednesday before the fire grids, so 2 weeks before my birthday. And we walked into Waterstones and I had one book in particular that I was like, I need to get this book. And then a couple books that I was like, okay, if I find these, great, I'll buy a couple of them. Knowing that any books I bought I would put away for my birthday. And we walked straight down to the YA section and it was just sitting there on the shelf. And I was like, Abby, it's a sign. I have to get it. So I literally grabbed it off the shelf and paid for it. And I didn't take the dust cover off until I started reading it. I think I started it on the 6th of November, so 2 days after my birthday. And I took the dust jacket off and was greeted with one of the most beautiful book covers I've ever seen. So this is the dust jacket. And I mean, it's gorgeous. But then you take it off and you see this. Like, how gorgeous is that? I'm on chapter 16 in this book out of, I think there's 41 or 42 chapters. It's split into 4 parts and I'm in part 3. And I'm absolutely loving it. I really recommend it. Even if you're not like a Les Mis fan or a musical fan, it's nothing like the musical. I probably could have had it finished by now. I was hoping to have it finished over the weekend, but I think it's just so different from the musical. And I love the musical, like I said, that it's just kind of taken me a bit longer to read, longer than I thought it was going to. But I'm really enjoying this. So again, thank you so much, Avalon, for letting me know about that this book exists. So my next book on this list is another one that I bought in Waterstones when I bought the Les Mis book, and that is Wonder Woman Warbringer. It is by the author of Shadow and Bone, Leigh Bardugo. So I did know it existed. I wasn't like interested in picking it up particularly. And when we went to Waterstones, I picked up Les Mis, another book that is in this pile, and then was like, I'm gonna get another book, what should I get? I was torn between getting Cinderella is Dead and Fangirl, because at that time I didn't know we owned Fangirl. And Abby was like, just pick something different, then you won't like regret not buying the other one. So I kind of skimmed the shelf, and I was like, oh, I could buy Red Queen, I could buy Throne of Glass. And then I saw this and I was like, you know what? I love Wonder Woman. I'm going to give it a go. I don't know when I'm going to start this book, because I do have a big pile of books and quite a few of them I want to read before this one. But I'm definitely looking forward to reading this. So my next 2 books I got in a parcel, in like a brown parcel. My sisters just kind of handed it to me. We're like, we don't know who this is from. And in it, I opened the parcel and there were 2 like presents. And I was like, those are books. I know those are books. And they were like, had paperback. They were like paperback books. And I opened the card and it was from my friend Ruthie. And Ruthie had told me about this trilogy called Lion Boy. And it took me a while to like get into the first one, but once I was like into it, I honestly couldn't put it down. It was really good. And I remember being devastated because I couldn't buy the second and third at the time. And I opened the presents, and inside was Lion Boy the Chase and Lion Boy the Truth. These are the second and third in the Lion Boy trilogy. I honestly, I got so excited when I opened these. Honestly, it was, if you ask my parents, they just sat there laughing at me because I was so excited. Ruthie has amazing taste in books, and yet again, she prevails. Like, every year I get like 1 or 2 amazing books from her. She's got such good taste. But I cannot wait to start these. So my next book is from my cousins. I remember, like, my cousin was like, I think I know what I'm going to get you, but can you send me, like, a little list just so that I'm sure? And I was like, yeah, and I wrote down a couple of book things and, like, a couple of other things. And she was like, okay, I know what I'm getting you. Thanks for the little list. And then I was like, because we couldn't see them on my birthday, which sucked. But, I mean, we FaceTimed them, and it was fine. So they mailed my present, and they FaceTimed me just as I was about to open it, which was, like, amazing. It was amazing. So I opened it in front of them on the camera, and the present that they got me was the UK collector's edition of Shadow and Bone. Honestly, I got so excited. I was so happy, because honestly, I don't own any of the Grishaverse books, which I'm really upset about. So, getting all the Grishaverse books with the brand new UK collector's edition of the book was, like, amazing. And the pages are blue. There's a like calls to like, which is a quote from the book. And then inside the book, the, like, cover pages are this gorgeous prints, and then there's a picture near the end of the book, and it is a stag I'm not going to tell you why there's a stag. If you want to go and read it, I really recommend it. So the next couple books I actually bought with some money I got for my birthday, and these arrived yesterday, so Sunday, at 8:15 in the morning. Yeah, it was a bit early, just a little bit. So the first one I have is Cinderella is Dead. One of the books that I was like torn between at the shop was Cinderella is Dead, but I ended up not buying it because I was just like, you know what, who knows, maybe my parents will buy it for me. I bought this on the 6th of November and it arrived yesterday on the 8th, and I cannot wait to start this. I am a huge fairy tale retellings fan. The first ones I read being Cinder, I think, the Lunar Chronicles, either that or Geekarella, I'm not quite sure. I'm so excited to read this. It looks like, just the cover looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited to read this. So the next book I have on this list is Aurora Burning by Amy Cofton and Jay Kristoff. This is, of course, the second book in the Aurora cycle. This was like, I have to buy this. If I do not get it for my birthday, I have to buy this, because the end of the first one left me like with so many questions, and I don't think this is the last one. I think there's another one after this, but this just came out this year. I think it was like June or July. And I did take the dust jacket off, and it is this gorgeous black with silver writing on the side, which I love. I love the cover. The cover, of course, has Cal, whereas on the first one it has Ori. So excited to read this. I think this is going to be, I'm reading Les Mis, then The Thief, then I think I'm going to read this. So the next book I have on this list is Among Beast and Briars by Ashley Poston. I am a huge Ashley Poston fan. I absolutely love her books. I will admit I have not read all of them. I'm kind of working my way towards owning them all. Some of them I own on Kindle, and then some of them I own on paperback and hardback. This just came out, so I did get it hardback, which I'm really happy about because I love a good hardback book. I only just found this out when I opened it earlier, to have like a flick through, and I'm not sure if you're like me, but I always like to smell new books when I get them because they have that new book smell. But it does have a map in it, which I'm really happy about. I don't actually know anything about it. I'm realising now a lot of the books I buy I don't know anything about. I don't care. I do quite often go off like the cover and the blurb, which I know I shouldn't. It's never led me wrong before. But I mean, like, it's just so gorgeous. So I'm really excited to read this. So the last book I have on this list is probably my favourite that I got for my birthday. This is from my mum, dad and my sisters, and that is Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. I will say it again, I love Marissa Meyer. She's a queen. I read this in one day. I read it on the 5th of November. I kind of curled up on my beanbag and then kind of moved to my bed. And I read it one day, like I said. Like I keep saying, I read it in one day in case you didn't know. And I loved it. It is absolutely amazing. It's contemporary, and she's never written a contemporary novel before. She's never written a contemporary romance. So she's always written like the Lunar Chronicles were sci-fi, the Renegades were kind of like fantasy, I guess, superhero. Heartless was a fairy tale retelling. She's never written a contemporary romance before. So it was a really different take, but I absolutely loved it. And I mean, Prue is such a gem, and Quinn is like, he's been added to my list of fictional guys I'm crushing on, just making the list even longer than it was before. And we did just find out a couple days ago on the 6th that her next book is going to be called, I think it's Gilded, and it's going to be a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, which I'm really excited about. So we're kind of going back into that, like, fairy tale retellings, which I am not complaining about Lunar Chronicles. Fairy tale retellings are one of my favourite book series of all time. But of course, Rumpelstiltskin is very different to Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood and Rapunzel and Snow White, so it's going to be very interesting. But I'm really excited for it. So that is it. Those are my books. That's the video for this week. Come my November reading wrap up, you're probably going to see all of these books on there. Probably. Maybe not. Maybe half of them. Gotta keep some for the run up to Christmas. Gotta keep some. Court of Miracles is like my daytime read, and then Fangirl is my nighttime read, so I read a bit before bed because it is on my Kindle, so it's easier to hold while I'm curled up in bed on my side instead of holding a book and your arms going numb. But yeah, that is the video for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye!